Hello, everybody. This is episode 6 of the Lemon Bar Media podcast. What is there a reaction to that name?
No, no.
This
listening.
This is episode 6 of the Lemon Bar Media podcast. My guest today is he volunteers on the production team where I work, and he's a very kind-hearted individual.
Doesn't know me well.
But yeah, our guest today is Larry Mazzone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Well, glad to be here.
Good.
So
Thank you so much for coming out. This is I mentioned to you, we were at a barbecue at a friend of ours, and I just mentioned this podcast to you, and you didn't really express much interest, but I was like, would you want to be a guest? And you're like, I'll think about it. But then by the end of the night, you're like, yeah.
End of the night, it was about 10 seconds.
Yeah. I exaggerate.
You typically don't need to think about things very long.
Yeah.
You already know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Just people delay for whatever reason.
For sure.
I was just messing with you.
I still haven't quite mastered your sense of humor, but
Well, it's that northern sense of humor. Sorry.
I'm from Michigan, so I kind of get it, but it's been a while, you know.
Michigan, Southern Michigan.
Yeah, like right there, you know.
Right to the back of your hand. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, the back of my hand, you know.
Half of Michigan get the back of my hand too.
Let's talk about. Did you say you've went through Michigan once or twice, maybe?
Just last week, we were 4th of July week.
That's right. I knew that you had a trip planned.
Yep.
How was that?
It was great. We stayed on a lake up there and just kind of moved around and looked around the area. We have a travel trailer, and we like to go in different parts of the country.
Yeah.
And there was one point living up north, we found ourselves in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
In this area, and just loved it.
Yeah.
And that's why we wound up here a couple of years ago.
It's amazing. So do you like to fish, or you just like to ride the boat, or?
Yeah, swim, boat.
Yeah.
Walk the dog. I don't care. It's easy to have fun and relax.
Yeah.
If you choose to.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else, it's about a choice.
It's great. Love it. Well, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about that, but the first question I want to ask is, how was your week? Give us a little life update and maybe introduce yourself a little bit.
Well, I'm Larry Mazzone. If you put your fingers together, you say the last name really well. Mazzone.
Mazzone.
At the end. Like Leo Mazzone, pitching coach, Atlanta Braves, many years.
Nah.
They know. Yeah, you're going to get ridiculed for this one. Anyway, that's fine. Now, I grew up north and been down there for 2 years, and I mean, the last week is just trying to get back to work and do some work.
Yeah.
I don't work really hard, so my wife will be happy to hear me say that. But it's a matter of you got to get going again. After vacation, that's the hard part, is to get ramped back up. It's like, no, I want to stay on vacation.
Morning routine, getting to work on time, dealing with. I'm sure when you come back from vacation, you deal with a little bit of a shuffle at work, right?
Well, I own the company, so I choose if there's a shuffle or not. But but it's the rest of the week is pretty busy. The rest of this week is pretty busy. So
good deal. What is tell them what you do, but also in the summertime, does business pick up a little bit? Like, what time of year have you noticed is your like busy season?
Whenever I feel like putting the effort in.
Yeah.
It's a busy season. No, I own an electronic payments company. So it's all things credit card processing. Any way to move money out of somebody's bank account into yours electronically is what I do.
Perfect.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And I help a lot of merchants with that.
Cool.
Creating systems for them.
Yes.
That work. So that's what I do for a living, which makes it it's pretty easy to do, but it took many, many years to learn how to do it.
Yeah. Remind me again, do you work in like downtown
No,
Chattanooga?
Out of my house.
Oh, perfect.
I've worked out of my house for many years.
It's great.
I don't like cube land.
Yeah.
I actually have an office in Canton, Mass.
Yeah.
When I lived up there, I probably went there 3 times a year. Every time I went there, I didn't want to be there. It was
It's
all these
beautiful.
cubicles
Yeah.
and little desks and people on phones, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is not what I'm in business for.
Yeah.
Let them do that. That's you know. I mean, it's fine if you do it, but it's just a matter of I want to own my own business and be out and doing things and have time to do what I want to do.
100%.
So manage that over the
What
years.
was so you how so what was kind of your mindset when you were in that work environment and then you kind of were like I want something different? How long did it take for you to make that transition to being, like you said,
Well,
have
I don't know, probably started in high school because I started my first company at 17. I owned a cleaning company. I had 8 employees when I graduated high school.
amazing?
Yeah, it was more not wanting to work for other people, so I realized I had to work for myself.
Yes.
And if you just work by yourself, it's hard to make a lot of money. And that's what I could do in high school,
Yeah.
is clean floors and rugs and buildings
Yeah.
and so on, and kind of ran that for 25 years. And that turned out it was never going to give me really truly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Right. So I was doing something I could do versus developing a lifestyle that I wanted.
Okay.
Right. And that business owned me. Now I own my business. It's totally different. That's why I changed businesses.
It's great.
That was about a 7 year transition in working for companies and having an office and all that. And, I was a sales manager and director of sales for a couple companies, and there was just so much drama.
Yeah.
Just can you just go do your job and calm down? And if you don't like your job, don't stay there. That's an idea, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, too many people complaining about how much they make an hour. They're
Yeah.
worried about what the person next to them makes.
Yeah.
But no, do your job or leave. I mean, just there is no. But no, they want to stay there. They want to get paid. They want to complain about things, and that's now I'm complaining about people complaining. It just drags everybody else into it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of negative, and
I've been guilty of that exact thing for my 4 or 5 years in the workforce.
everybody can be.
I'm lucky to have a little bit of a better mindset nowadays, but
Well, it's a matter of if wherever you're at is temporary, and it's temporary, and the way you know it's temporary is that you're actually chasing a dream. There's something that could be and should be in your life that is something that will drive you to get up in the morning, to learn new things, to get out before work and after work, to chase, and whether it's having more education, and I don't mean formal education to go in college, but reading the right books, positive business books. There's
yes.
plenty of them out there.
Yes.
Magic of Thinking Big is the first one.
The questions are the
The
answers.
questions, the answers.
Yeah.
There's different ones, but these are the types of things that'll really help propel you forward and keep you positive. It'll make you a better employee but part of it is you'll be more satisfied because that's a temporary situation, no matter how negative it is.
Yes.
Right. But it's a matter of keep improving yourself to get to where you want to be, and it's not about a destination. Right. So most people say, "Well, I want to be this, whatever this is," and they focus on that thing. No, no, no. You got to turn around, and this is you're taught this in school. You're taught this the guidance counselor says to you, what, 15, what do you want to be when you grow up? Who knows?
Yes.
How could you ever know? How could you know at 16 or 17? You don't know until you've arrived, essentially.
Yeah.
To me, that's the wrong question. You could ask a kid or you can ask an adult the same question. What do you want your life to look like in 5 or 10 years? And you gotta picture it. Do you want a house? What kind of car do you want? Do you want 2 cars? Do you want a family? Figure out what those things are going to cost. Backward engineer to figure out, okay, what do I got to do? What are the things that qualify for my time that I have to be able to do to chase that dream, to have my life to look like that I want it to look like?
Yes.
And that's what you have to focus on is becoming those, whatever you need to be. So to me, it wasn't only about not being in Cuba, and it was about owning my own business and not having people tell me what to do, when to get up, where to live. I mean, all
Yeah.
these things matter, where to go on vacation even. Why? Because it depends on how much you're making.
Yeah.
There are people that go on these vacations that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And then and there are some that never. They go to El Porto Backyardo. Every time on vacation, they just stay in the backyard. That's all I got. Because that's all I can afford.
That's
So,
great.
so it's a matter of what you're trying to get at. But you got to develop that. You got to work on that, and chase it. And you'll find out that success is in the journey. It's not in that destination, because the destination can change a little bit here and there.
Amen.
But you have to chase it.
Yes.
And that's important.
But that's the beautiful thing, like you said, about a 5 to 10 year kind of dream or goal, or destination, is you might get 5 years down the road and be in a spot that you're like I didn't expect to be this far. I didn't expect to be in this field, or so that's really cool. There's going to be changes along the way, but at least you're
absolutely. Well, your dream can change.
Yeah.
You got to here, and then all of a sudden, it's a distraction if you're going for a goal and you're just not paying attention to the goal. You're going off in different directions. But the dream can change because you've gotten to a certain spot and you realize, all right, I need to be here, but excuse me. But my dream is more and more of that. So that, it really doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be about how much you're making. It doesn't have to be tangible as such. So I'm here in Chattanooga. It turned out Chattanooga was the dream.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Super cool. I love it. Water.
He's making me nervous. You gotta look at the camera and say things like
He's
that.
making me nervous.
I'm making you nervous? I'm not very intimidating, Heavy drinker. All right.
Fumble.
Yeah. Anyway, so what else you got? What do you got?
So that's very cool. I'm just going to respond to kind of what you said, but that's super cool. I really enjoy talking about this entrepreneurship and this goal-oriented, goal-setting, achieving kind of discussion. I find it really cool. This is what you described is what I'm trying to embed into my lifestyle. I'm working on that, and I explained a little bit of my dream and my goals and where I want to be in 5 to 10 years. And it's like, there's already been changes. I'm already like, wow, like, here we go. Like I didn't expect to be, doing a photo thing, or I didn't expect to be doing a series, or so it's really cool. What you described is literally evidence of my current state of life. So I find that cool.
And whatever you do, never let anyone steal your dream. And there's a lot of people out there that are going to try.
Yeah.
Good people.
Yeah.
People that are very close to you. People that are well-meaning. People that love you. They truly do.
Yes.
And they think they're trying to help you or protect you.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone steal your dream. The thing is that kind of gets in the back of my head once in a while, and it got here already, was that we are all born equal. Every person, period. But from that second forward, things begin to change, because it's the people around us. The education and I don't mean, again, not schools, but the education we receive starts second one.
Yeah.
And as education, nutrition, all this other stuff that makes us unequal as we begin to grow. There's a point in life, and it's different for everybody. It's not about age. It could be 15, or it could be 30. That it's time to make your own decisions of where you want to be and what you want to become. And at that point, you can decide to become unequal in a positive way.
Yes.
Right. You've already been either stuck somewhere or you've been propped up a little bit. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's not about anything that's visible. Right. I mean, not even about things that you may have that don't work right on your body or whatever it may be. because I've met too many people that are amazing success stories that don't have limbs, that don't have a lot of, don't have the thing, the physical, where,
Setbacks.
yeah, well, they have physical separates. They have all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't affect their dream. They're still,
Yeah.
whatever it is, they're still going forward.
They chased after it even with a difficult
Yeah. Well,
situation.
but harder because of that. They went after it harder, but they had to. And some people have to work a lot harder than others to achieve what looks like a similar thing. But when you achieve something that all those well-meaning people said, well, you can't do that. They're trying to save you. They're trying you from disappointment. Disappointment can drive you, right? Rather than just hanging around with everybody. Say, oh no, stay here with us. It's okay. They're going to keep you in mediocrity. They want to keep you where they are. Do you ever see crabs in a bucket? You put a crab in a bucket, a single crab in a bucket, 5-gallon pail. He'll climb out. He'll climb out. He's gone. Put 3 or 4 crabs in that bucket. Every time one starts to climb out, others grab him and pull him back down.
Really?
That's your life.
Yeah.
That's my life. That's all lives.
Yeah.
and that's kind of that. That's it. It was an amazing analogy when I was first told that. But it's something where you can't let that happen. And that struggle to get out is even harder, though. But you're still going to get out. When I started my company at 17, the amount of pushback I got was amazing.
You can't do it.
No, I had some words for those people eventually.
You have no experience.
No. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's just, so I went ahead and did it. It turned out those Adidas students, I remember from high school. Oh my God, high school was a long time ago. But that used to give me a hard time. I try to use the R in the word hard for this audience, right?
Yeah.
You guys use R's down here. We don't in the North. But anyway, and he'd call me a loser because I was just hanging around, in high school because I was bored out of my mind. And I, started the company, had it going, had employees, everything else. Upon graduation, I have my diploma. I'm walking by him and say, "Did I make more than you now?" I was being a real jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can hear Pastor Tim. That was rude. Yes, it was. I wasn't really following Christ then, all right? That was, it was quite rude. And what I didn't realize was, and I didn't turn back, but he was smiling because he motivated me by telling me I couldn't do it. I had that personality. If you tell me I can't, I'm going to do it and show you, right? Most people don't. Most people go the other direction. Oh, they probably know better than I do, so I'm going to not do whatever it is.
Yeah.
I went off on this tangent. I don't know where I'm going, but this is where I wound up.
No, that's super cool. It's really cool, especially when you're younger, because those expectations are, they do want to, folks do want to belittle you, your experience, your, what they want to put you in a box saying like, you're going to follow the norm because you are normal and you're going to, that's all that you can do.
What's normal?
Yeah.
What's normal for them, what's normal for you are two different things.
Yeah.
I remember a mentor of mine saying, you'll make the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most in life. And when he told me that, I was making the most of the other people I was hanging around with.
Mm-hmm.
And it stuck with me. It bothered me. I'm going, okay, I'm not making enough now. That was a long time ago. I wasn't making anywhere near enough to survive. I mean, to really have a decent life. And that was, I was going to be going the wrong direction. So I had to change some things. It wasn't just people you're hanging around with, but changing attitudes, changing a lot of different things in your life just to be able to get to that dream. And how to figure that out. And a lot of things happened right around when I was 40. So I ran that company for 25 years. When I was 40, I met some mentors that led me, led me back to Christ, because when I was in high school, early on in high school, I would go to church. I don't know if that means being a Christ follower. I don't think it does. But I was going to church at least. But then I stopped. I didn't go back till after I was 40 at all. and realize that that's where you're going to get a lot of your strength from. And what was it? Les Brown. I remember Les Brown at a conference 20 something years ago, saying that how do you put it? If you put Jesus first, you'll never come in second. See, that's who you should be following.
Yes.
You know, and no matter how you look at it, there's just excellence right in that. It's just that one thing. It just gets me going.
Yeah.
Just to because I can hear Les's voice.
Yeah, for sure.
He did a little more of a growl, but whatever.
For sure.
Yeah.
But that kind of ties in too with, there's going to be changes, but that change is from the Lord. It might, like for me, like what's a good example? Like, all right, I want a $20 million house in 5 years, right? Well, in two and a half years, I might have, a nice $250,000 house, maybe, right? And it might feel like a $20 million house to me. And so I might have a skewed kind of idea of where I'll be at, but the Lord will provide. That's just the dots that I connect to what you said earlier, but also to that. So
see, the dream could be that big a house.
Yeah.
But the goals have to change along the way.
Yes.
So the goal is, okay, I'm going to have it in 5 years. You don't make it in 5 years. You just reset the goal. You set realistic goals along the way. Daily, weekly, monthly goals. That's what people miss. I've been missing a lot lately myself.
Yeah.
I came down here and kind of relaxed a little bit too much. Right. So I need to create more, chase something else, if you will. But yeah, you just, it's nothing wrong with resetting the goal. If you don't reach a goal, just reset it. If you reach a goal too quickly, reset it also.
Yeah.
All right. You got to keep chasing. You've got to keep moving forward.
Never content with where you're at. Always build, always improve. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah, be happy, but being content is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Just because you just sit there and watch television or something.
One person once told me that watching TV is a poor man's activity. But that's, I mean, I like watching TV sometimes, So
I have it on,
but the problem is every time I turn on the TV and I'm watching, I'm like,
TVs used to have tubes in them.
Yeah.
Something called tubes. It was before you were born, right? And it was always called the boob tube. It was a tube with the boob.
Yeah,
right?
I've heard that.
Idiot box, same thing, right? And it will drain your intelligence if you allow it to. It's amazing. I mean, even a couple people in my family that watch these talking heads on television, and they're reading off a teleprompter, telling you other people's words, and then they believe them like these people know what they're talking about anything in life.
Yeah.
I've asked them, why would you listen to someone who you don't know, who's reading other people's words and doesn't have a thought of their own? They're not reading other people. I've had this said to me by family members. They're not reading other people's words. I'm like, in the desk is a glass top. There's a teleprompter. They have a microphone in their ear. No, they don't. So it's very interesting when you try to. It's hard to tell people things. You can't really tell them. You have to wait for them to ask.
Yeah.
Then they want to learn, right? I have a tendency to want to tell them sometimes.
Yes.
Tried that with family members. Never ends well. I usually say, yeah, whatever, and I walk away, but luckily. Or my wife drags me away.
Yeah.
That's really probably more like it. Yeah, she's saved me more than once. Much more than once.
Good. She's a good person in that aspect.
Well. I married really well.
It's great.
Yeah.
Another question I like to ask, I'm going to kind of just merge them into two, but what has Jesus, what has the Lord done in your life the last year? Or you can discuss maybe, 1 to 2 moments where you just knew that the Lord had a hand on a situation in your life, like you know.
Yeah, I've got to go back. Yeah, so in the last year, and, it's really going to be a much longer term type of deal. But um, even though I wasn't actively following Christ at the time, when I met my wife, that was that was kind of insane.
Yeah.
Because she was working temporary on her job. Um, it was her last day as a temporary job. I was in this particular. It was a depot that separated gases into tanks. And I was helping a buddy of mine out loading his truck with nitrous oxide tanks for whipped
Yeah.
cream systems,
Yeah.
not for the college kids. Anyway, so I was going to be there for half an hour. I was in the office for 20 minutes, and then I was out the warehouse for a few minutes, back in, hit the paperwork, and gone.
Yes.
In that 15 minutes or so, I asked her out 22 times. She said no. I mean, some of it was asking for a phone number, and I'd probably worked that in 4 or 5 times, and this night or that night. And there was reasons why, because she thought I was nuts. Because once I knew that was my only opportunity.
Yeah.
And when I went out in the out into the warehouse, the manager that she worked for put a good word in for me. Said, no, he's not totally crazy. He's actually sane and all that crap. So, and she came back and got her phone number.
That's
She still didn't
great.
have a date at that point, but I got her phone number. But shortly after that,
That's great.
and we've only been that was 40 years ago, so we've only been married 38 years. Maybe it'll stick. As long as I don't get home tonight and the locks are changed, I'll be all right. But
That's great.
that actually turned my life immediately on that at that point, and I didn't know why I had to get her to go out with me. Not like I wasn't dating,
Hmm.
but yeah. And then after that, I was like, there was no one to date but her, so it was pretty cool. So
That's great.
but a lot of things in life have been her and I together. Even when we at 40 when I we met some mentors and really decided to change a lot of things in our lives. Right, she was a big part of that. So it's been us together forever. It's always been at least that one thing. And what we found out though, again after 40, so it was many years later, but the closer we get to Christ, the closer we get together. Right, and
The
that's
triangle theory.
not a theory. It's
The
not a theory.
triangle.
Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
You can get away. I'll let you get away with it. You're young.
Yeah. Yeah. Take me a minute to
Yeah, it's all right.
process it,
No,
think
no, no,
it,
you're fine.
vocalize it.
But yeah, it's real. So that's part of it. Even coming down here, the plague started.
Hmm.
I'll call it the plague. That's as polite as I can get about the whole thing. Um, and realized that she could actually work from home also. So my wife owns a bookkeeping company. And she used to go to her clients all the time.
Yes.
And all of a sudden she couldn't. And once we realized that Zoom actually worked, which we didn't realize, we hadn't used it to that point.
Hmm.
My business is across the country anyway, so it didn't really matter where I lived.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the talk of moving south, which we plan to do after, probably after next year, got accelerated very quickly.
Yes.
A year after, we were gone. I escaped Massachusetts and came down here to America
It's
in Tennessee. So
great.
and that was a decision that was kind of made just by looking at each other. There was no, we were both led the same direction. This is where we need to come. We got here. We felt like it was home.
Hmm.
I don't make decisions that way. I
Yeah.
analyzed everything else. But there was nothing to analyze. It was just like, yep, that's it. So that's really when you're allowing yourself to be led. You just kind of go with it, and then we know at this point, 2 years, 2 years, July 1st, we've been here, that
Super
we are in the
cool.
right place. We are where we want to be or need to be,
Yeah.
and whatever comes next comes next. As far as life goes, so it's good.
That's super cool. Yeah, you guys, I love how you said escaped Massachusetts. That's so funny. Came to America. But
It's just, if you knew what went on what really goes on up there, yeah, it's interesting.
it's like folks from California. It's probably a similar situation.
It's California light, and some of the leaders, if I can call them that,
Hmm.
in Massachusetts, simply watch California and New York and just copy them after they do it.
Yeah.
They were doing it all during the plague, I'm trying not to call it a scamdemic.
Yeah.
Maybe I just did, but all during that, the same thing. It was all following the same ways. The same. It was all following the script.
Hmm.
It was really. It was easy to see if you step back and just listen
Hmm.
and watch different things, and and actually listen to people, not listen to people saying what somebody else said. Actually, listen to them speak, whatever supposed leader it is. You don't get the 10-second clip and then a commentary for 5 minutes. Listen to what they said.
Yeah.
And kind of use a little bit of discernment about what they're trying to get at.
A little bit of discernment.
Just
Love it.
just a little, So I don't know. Yeah, but we got out of there very happily.
Super cool. Yeah, and so since you've been moved to Chattanooga, what are some results that you've seen just from moving here? Because that's one thing that you described as being like a big moment from the Lord. So what results have you seen? I'll use the word fruit, but
Everything was so different. So I knew everybody where I was at. A lot
mm-hmm.
of business networking. I actually teach networking. Um, for a major organization, it was part of it was a part-time thing that I did, but also I was in that networking organization, so I could grow my own business also.
Yeah.
And so I knew. I mean, didn't matter where I went. People I knew. I get down here, I don't know anybody. Actually, I met the realtor, my realtor. That was it. It was fantastic. Hadley Robinson, fantastic. Anyway, cheap plugs for people. Anyway, so we didn't know anybody, and that was strange. I came into this church. Now, those couple people, the first couple people I met, this is the church they went to, and we went to a Calvary Chapel up north.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, we'll go there. Well, that Calvary Chapel up north, I knew everybody in that Calvary Chapel. Why? Because it was 300 to 400 people at any given time, total. I ran the greeting team. That helped me get to know everybody very quickly.
That's right. Yeah.
And I didn't really run anything. I just kind of help encourage people and move from there. But
Shake
and then I
hands.
come into this church, and I don't know if it was a slow week or not, but it was like 700 people here when I walked in the door, and I couldn't. And that was one of 4 services, and I'm going, this is crazy. It's huge,
Yeah.
right? So again, that was a little bit of culture shock. Now, I knew everybody, don't know anybody. Small church to a big church, everything in life was just totally upside down from what we're used to. So there was a little bit of an adjustment period, but it was so easy, the adjustment period. We got to know a bunch of people. We've got some great friends already down here. We have for a while. Part of them, a lot of them go to the church. Some of them don't go here anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, they very interesting people sometimes when they help people make decisions. I don't like that. Well, you don't like the truth? Well, that's not my problem. I like the truth. So I really feel like we're blessed to be here.
It's great.
And hopefully, here's that
Yeah.
was for him. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
He's a big part of that. But they all are. They're all excellent. Even who's from Boston, we like him too.
Yeah. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, at times.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna watch it, but I think
That's okay.
I think they're aware that like I do it, but I don't know if they watch it.
Well, you can tell them that their names came up.
Okay.
Watch.
That's great, phenomenal,
But
super cool.
yeah, so we're just doing our thing, and my wife volunteers at Choices, and she works in the back here with the kids, and I get to play with the production team, which was friends of mine from my church in the north. Was like, you're on what? You do what?
Yeah.
They're used to be being out front.
Yeah.
But it's a different world. It's a different world just being here anyway.
Yeah.
It's a much different place than where I was from. But on top of that, it's just so I guess so many. And John was really pivotal and talked me into, try the camera. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was amazing.
It's great.
But I enjoy John and some of these other guys that we work with here.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool cats. I'm blessed to have such a cool team.
Yeah.
A talented team.
Except for that Joe guy. I don't know about him.
Yeah, I'm with you in that. Like man, That guy is.
Yeah, they gotta fire him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does he listen to this?
I just
Does he listen?
he might,
Oh,
but
cool.
I mean, you
Hi,
have to,
Joe.
like there's no other way to put it, but I'm better than that guy. Like there's just no other way
That's
around
funny. That's funny. Well, honestly, he's an awesome guy too, but whatever.
it.
Cut that out. Cut that part out though when I said that.
No, that's staying.
No, that I called him an awesome guy. I don't know. We don't want to know that. Just go to his head. Anyway, but it's a good bunch. It's a good bunch.
Yes, sir. Well, what can we expect from you in the next year? What are some things that you're working on? Goals, maybe a trip you're gonna take, like
The trips get planned by my wife. She's a social director. Um, but many times I know where we're going. I don't know what's there. I'm just like I know the general. Like I knew we were going to Southern Michigan. I didn't know it was Buchanan, Michigan,
yeah,
until I got in the truck and said, "Okay, give me the address." And I put in the Garmin, a big camper Garmin thing on the windshield, and
yeah,
right. I don't worry about that stuff too much. And then of course we're driving for hours, so now she can tell me all the things that we
yeah,
could possibly do or not do. Um, so I'll keep the conversation going a little bit better while we're driving because when you're driving 4, 5, 6 hours at a time, 2 days in a row, which it took to get up to Southern
yeah,
Michigan. That's it's a lot of time in the car.
yeah.
So
Yeah, my folks and I usually will just knock it out. It's like a travel day, 11 hours with like one or two stops.
yeah.
But
Well, when you're hauling a 30-foot travel trailer, it's a little bit
yeah, that too.
harder to drive. And
Yes.
besides, it's more fun to stop at another campground, 2, 3 in the afternoon, stop, have a cup of coffee and a cigar, and take sleep, and then drive the next morning. So,
Yeah, it's great.
yeah, that works.
So you have a pop-up camper
No,
or a little
it's a
motorhome?
30-foot trailer.
Oh, that's
So I
great.
haul it with my pickup truck,
Oh, that's great.
and yeah,
Very cool.
it's our summer home on wheels.
Yeah,
So
it's
we can go wherever
awesome.
we want to go.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it's not a bad thing. So trips go that way. Um, I do have. I'm looking for more to do at this point. I mean, I am building something in my garage that I haven't shared with too many people, but it's a train that's going to go around the
Yeah.
whole top of the
Yeah, you
garage.
showed me pictures.
We're almost there. I've got actually about a foot and a half of track to get the first line running left to do,
Yeah.
and about half an hour to an hour's more wiring to do.
Yeah.
It
It's
won't
a
all be pretty, and the wires are still hanging a little bit, but I'll have something running as soon as I get a cool day or two to be able to work on the garage, which is
yeah.
hasn't happened. It's not going to happen until September probably,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
that's okay. It'll be there, but we're close.
Yeah, and from the pictures that I saw, like it's not complicated like where it's going, but it is complicated to make it like fit.
Oh yeah, we've
And
been cutting track already. Like that last foot and a half, I got to cut a track,
yeah,
and customize everything and nail it down.
yeah,
There's a lot more going on that I'm
yeah.
not going to share right now.
It's
But
got to be
that's a project. That's
yeah,
a year out from being mostly complete. Complete enough to be able to say, okay, it looks like I can show it off a little bit.
yeah.
But yeah, that's going to take a little time.
That's super cool.
So that's just the fun side of things. But I'm open to other stuff. So we'll see what the Lord brings. I mean, I don't know.
It's great. Love it.
It's I'm here for more. Uh, there's more of a reason for me being here than making a train around my garage. Right?
Yeah,
And obviously the interactions I'm having with different people at different times, or maybe it's to sit here and encourage people. I don't know.
yeah. Excellent.
I don't know what it is.
Love it.
So what else you got? What else you got?
What else? To be honest, that's all the questions. Is there anything maybe you'd like to talk about, or any insight you might want to give to a young man? Or
Well, I'm just going to tell you and anybody that seems to listen, don't quit.
mm,
Just move forward. Motivation can come from either negative or positive.
yeah,
Either you're chasing a dream or you're running from a nightmare. It's one or the other. Doesn't matter. But keep going.
yes,
You know, giving up is not an option. And it's really about making that decision now that you're going to get to where you want to be.
hmm
I don't know where that is. You may not know where that is yet. It doesn't matter, right? But once you made the decision, just follow and keep moving forward. Without distractions.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that dream or goal is, follow it. Period. And all of a sudden you get a distraction. Somebody wants, it's like I want to go to lunch in Miami, right? But then
I
all,
love
all of a sudden
Miami.
somebody's having a party over in Denver. Oh yeah, come over to the party. Denver's not on the way to Miami, in case you haven't looked at the map lately,
Yeah.
right? No, you could you do don't want. That's not in my dream. My dream is this way.
Yeah.
Follow that dream, no matter how wonderful something, how much fun something sounds.
Yeah.
Because the fun will come. Because success is found in that journey, and that great accomplishment along the way is what's going to the journey of integrity.
Yeah.
Doing things right is important,
Yes.
and right means honestly. And in helping people along the way and encouraging others. That type of attitude. But if you do that, you won't fail. You won't fail. Just one foot in front of the other and keep on going.
It's great.
And if you decide to stop or get distracted, you let me know and I'll smack you upside the head and see if we can set you straight.
Keep going, son.
Well, just success is a choice.
Yeah. It is.
Just like your attitude.
My attitude is all over the place.
You choose what your attitude is going to be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be at a business meeting tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning. Right, there's a bunch of people that I have not met before. So I've heard this every time I go into these different business groups to speak. I'm speaking at one tomorrow. And I said, well, how are you so much energy in the morning? And you're so happy and everything else. And they're all, sipping their second or third cup of coffee, hoping the caffeine will do it. Right? It's a choice. It's a choice. I'm going to get up with a bounce in my step and have that positive attitude. Right? I mean, I get to go maybe help somebody tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I get to do that. That's cool.
Yeah.
See, that's the cool. You got me saying cool now.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's something where you can help people along the way just by giving them a kind word or a nod or a smile. Not a creepy smile. I mean, it's sort of okay. But and you never know. But you just keep doing it, and knowing that's really what needs to be done. One of the things we noticed coming down here is in our neighborhood, everybody waves to each other. They're waving at cars. They can't see through the windshield sometimes. The reflection. Everybody's waving all the time. Everybody's waving. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So I wave all the time. Everybody else. Sometimes it's the 2 or 3 finger wave. You're holding the steering wheel and
yeah.
Sometimes it's that. I've seen that a lot. I understand that's a thing. I don't know, but so I do that sometimes. But
that's cool.
But it's just really friendly and so on. But that really brightens my day. Everybody's friendly.
What about if you drive by, you just give someone the bird?
Well, that's Massachusetts. It's a 1 finger wave in Massachusetts. Right? Yeah. Here it's the 2 or 3. I'm not going to show you that one, but that's you brought it up. I thought you brought it up, so that's not good. But that's and there's a lot of yelling and swearing and people screaming at each other, and that may happen down here. I don't know. I don't pay attention because that's a choice also.
Good deal.
So anyway,
I like those Skechers.
Wife bought them for me.
It's great.
I don't dress myself.
No.
Division of talents in our household.
That's the ultimate.
Shopping is one of her talents.
That's the ultimate thing to chase after. You don't have to dress yourself. Your wife does.
She wants me to look halfway decent.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care.
That too. Well, Larry, Mr. Mazzone. Thank you so much for swinging by. Very good insight. Sure myself and others can take something from this. Appreciate it. That concludes episode 6 of the podcast.
All right. Made it through without collapsing.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching and all your support.